Hello there. I have an exercise that I have been doing ever since I read The Artist's Way that is one of the most fun. And I'm curious if you know about this one. So I'm Michelle Teberge, and I'm an artist here in the San Francisco Bay region, and I help support and encourage other people to be creative and follow their inner guidance. And I wanted to share this exercise because I read the book, The Artist's Way, when it first came out. I think it was in the early 90s. And this was one exercise that I sort of balked at, and it took me a little while, and I kind of forget about it. But this morning I was like, I am doing an artist date. So that's what it's called. And the whole concept is that you set aside time in your calendar to take your artist, your inner artist. And it's sort of, to me, like, I equate it for myself with the inner child, that like purely, boundlessly creative part of ourselves that we had, most of us hopefully had touch with when we were young, maybe 5 or 6, where you could just, someone hand you a lump of clay and you just didn't hesitate. You're just like, I'm making something, or, a box of crayons, and you just had fun, and you didn't think about it. It wasn't too serious. You weren't worried about a finished product. You were just in the moment. And so cultivating that part of ourselves is so important. And today, for me, I've been pretty busy in my life, and so my studio time has been super precious, and I've realized it's gotten pretty serious. Like, I just come in and I'm organized, I'm focused, and I just get to work. And I realized, like, I really wanted some open time, and that I was going to allow myself time today that is more of an artist date studio time. So that means I don't have to sit down and make art. If I totally am drawn to do that, I can, but some of the things I thought, I'm going to listen to some of my favorite cumbia music. I'm going to practice my drums. I don't know if you can see my drum kit over in that corner. I just started playing drums in the past year or so. And anyway, like it's not even a full kit yet, but I just want to sit down and play on it a little bit. And also, one thing that really inspires me creatively is looking at vintage fashion and vintage fashion designers. I'm super into Ozzie Clark right now, and I got a book about him. So just some like fun, playful, loose things that support the creative spirit, not necessarily, I probably will, because I'm pretty excited about some things going on, but it's just loose and playful and open, and there's no goal, and I don't have to make something or finish something. I can just let my little inner creative spirit move me through my morning. And so I'm curious about you. Did you ever read Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way? I'll put a link to that book below if you haven't heard of it. It's great. And if so, like, have you done an artist date, and what have you done? And if it's something that you think would be cool for you, like, what would you do? I'll give some other examples, because she doesn't even she's a writer, so she's talking to all types of creatives. So like, a writer wouldn't necessarily go to a studio. My artist dates were one, you just sort of tune in, like, what was something that would feel playful. And one time it was like following my cat around. That was my artist date. I didn't stick with it very long because it got boring faster than I thought it would. But just like, again, not having a goal or a specified outcome, just doing something like very spontaneous and free, as if you had all the time in the world and you didn't have to get anything done or accomplished. Like, you shut out all the like work and bills and family and responsibilities, and you just tune in with that like inner playfulness. Another one that I did one time was my husband had been talking to me for years about the East Bay Vivarium. You got to go check this out. You got to check this out, the East Bay Vivarium. And like, we never went together, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go check this out. The East Bay Vivarium, I don't know if it exists anymore, but it was this huge building, I don't know how many thousand square feet, with a bunch of reptiles, and really just all these exotic species and stuff like that. And that was totally interesting and unique and different thing for me to do. Normally I'd be like, I'm going to an art show or a gallery or a museum or whatever. Anyway, so just something kind of out of the ordinary, maybe stimulating a little bit. So those are some ideas, and I'd be super curious to hear what your ideas are. And if these thoughts about supporting creativity are important and helpful to you, I just want you to know that I have an entire website devoted to this. So things like you would find in The Artist's Way, and some of my work was inspired by reading that book. I've pulled things from a lot of sources, but the website's called themindfulartist.com, and it's got years worth of articles about supporting the creative self, about how to handle things, common things like having a hard time focusing, having a hard time making studio time, feeling insecure, all those kind of things that the normal creative person faces on a regular basis. I also have playlists here on YouTube. I talk about that stuff here in addition to all my hundreds of painting tutorials. I talk about the inner life of an artist, and that's where my heart and soul are. And that comes from my own journey, and I'm still on this journey. I still struggle with insecurity and comparing myself to others, and sometimes feeling like I don't measure up, but I just keep coming back, and I'm not giving up. And I come in and I make time for my studio, and I send my stuff out, and I participate with other artists, and I have shows in galleries. I just don't give up. I don't give up trying. And I think it's super easy to do that. And if you've ever felt giving up, I'm just sending you the warmest virtual internet hug, and just don't give up on yourself. You're important. I'm gonna cry. Sorry. But you just don't know how important each and every individual is. So don't sell yourself short. I do it too, so I know how it feels, you guys. We all go through this, okay? It's just part of being human. And, on the plus side of this, I really believe that, many of us came to overcome these things, right? So we came to overcome them. So I got a comment, someone about scrolling Instagram. It's everybody knows social media is a big place where people get all their insecurities triggered, because everyone's oh, look how great I am, I'm in Bahamas with my family, and I just bought a new house or whatever. And maybe you're struggling to pay your bills or whatever, or maybe your artist friends are having great opportunities, and you haven't been in a show in years, or whatever that is. So I just want to say, being insecure is normal, but it doesn't mean we should listen to that voice and shrink back from life. We really need to address it. And I feel that's kind of a gift, is that when these things come up, can we take them in, and can we use this as an opportunity to grow? And I'm gonna do some more stuff on this later, and I have a surprise for you guys. I'll announce that soon, but I just want you to know I'm here for you. I'm here to support you. There's a lot of support and love surrounding you, more than you could possibly know, and that you do have an important purpose in this life. And if being creative feels like something in your heart, then it's really important that you do it and make time for it. So tell me about your artist date. Can you schedule one? Have you scheduled one? What did you do? What will you do? Let's commit here, and let's support each other, and surprise each other, and inspire each other with how we can support our creative inner spirit. Mwah.